And here we go. It's about 70 degrees. We have just remarked about how gorgeous this weather has been throughout the Tar Heel State this weekend. Duke 43-6 overall on the season, 19-4 in conference play. And this one hits her as she shows bunt. She goes down to first base, and she is aboard with the hit by pitch.
Stepping up to the plate, first baseman, number 7, Claire Davidson.
And so it doesn't take much time then for us to get the opportunity to see Claire Davidson coming from the left side. She's helped to power this offense this year.
17 home runs on the season. One of the only 2 athletes on this Duke roster that has double-digit home runs. One of those being Vega, actually, who we assume has a knee injury that we saw happen in game 1. She did not get the start yesterday in game 2. Vega with 10 home runs on the season. Man, what a tough loss that would be for this offense if we don't see her take the field again for the rest of this season. This is going to be a postseason team. We know that. You and I chatted about it prior to the start of this game.
And Davidson lifts this one into left field. Tori Inslee is there, and Davidson is retired. But to continue on with that conversation, you think the senior Claire Davidson and the sophomore Amina Vega, the top 2 hitters in this Duke program this season. And so the health of Vega will be important as they try to make a deeper push. Remember, they made it to Super Regionals the last couple of years. They're trying to break through this year and punch their first ticket to the Women's College World Series.
On base 2, just where they sit right now, number 5 in the top 25. I mean, this is a team that sizably, we can assume, would be hosting both a regional and a super regional. Talk about the advantage of being on your home turf. The comfortability, the ability to sleep in your own bed. I can tell you from personal experience, that is worth its weight in gold.
It's nothing like it. And Marissa Young said, hey, look, we are looking for that next step. We are looking to take that next step with this program, but all the success that's been amassed in just a short amount of time, as this is just the 7th season of this Duke Blue Devil softball program. Three-0 count to Anna Gold. And the walk to Gold on 4 pitches as she takes first, and Torres moves to second.
Thinking about what Duke has done recently, took 2 of 3 against Florida State in mid-March. And on the trail of conference, they swept Virginia Tech, a very good Virginia Tech team. Lemley in the circle, and actually North Carolina State taking a win away from Lemley when they faced each other. Duke sweeping Clemson in mid-April, and then dropping a series against Virginia last weekend. And you know, head coach Marissa Young was very honest with us in the fact that this team has been tired. This is finals week for them. They're prepping to end school. This just kind of tracks for where we are in season right now. And frankly, they were on autopilot. She said, we were just asleep. We needed the wake-up call, and we're going to use it. And since then, we've seen some noise from this team offensively this weekend.
And they'll have next weekend off NC State, and is one of 6 teams who will close out their conference season, but they're going to prepare also for the ACC tournament May 8th through the 11th. And so once they get through finals, they can take a quick exhale, if you will, and then gear up for the conference tournament. This group won it back in 2021. And Maya Burgess, we mentioned, one of those home run hitters on the weekend, had a 3-run shot yesterday. Fouls that one off. Now 2-2.
.368 hitter with runners in scoring position. My goodness, the power we've seen from the left side of the batter's box for Duke this weekend has been remarkable.
Coming inside on that one for a full count now to Burgess. When we speak to the 2 home runs we saw from Duke in game 1, 3 yesterday. And now the bases loaded after the walk to Burgess, and that brings up Giselle Tapia. And we speak of home runs. And Tapia, who hit a solo shot yesterday.
Saw 7 down the middle of the field, dead center, 205.
Great diving effort into foul territory as Tori Inslee tried to get that one.
Just an unbelievable diving effort. Up the left field line.
Tapia, 5-year starter, team captain for this group. They like to call her Grandma G. Handled well by Lambrick at second base, but it's going to concede the run and the RBI fielder's choice, and Duke is on the board.
Almost thought we'd see a tag there from Lambrick. I think that ground ball just barely missing first to second base runner, and almost could have gotten that double play.
In there for strike 1 to the senior Francesca Freeling, designated hitter. Has a couple RBI on the weekend. Was back in game 1 on Friday against Wyman. And she lifted a shot out of the park. A little bit of a breeze kind of moving through here at Dale Stadium, but the 0-2 count to Freeling. Grounder. Marbury over to first, and that ends the inning. Afternoon for the NC State Wolfpack, who will lean on Amanda Hassler to continue to carry and do the job that she's done in April. As Michaela Marbury, who closed out the inning, now leads it off here for NC State, taking that inside for strike 1.
This is an NC State team, too, that has 56 home runs. Talking about double-digit home run power, the first 3 hitters in the starting 9 have over 10 home runs. Hassler with 15 of those. And so the challenge right now for the Wolfpack in facing an arm for Jayla Wright is the fact that the ball is going to stay low. It's going to stay at your knees. It's so hard to lift a drop ball, let alone one that's coming at 72 miles an hour. So how do you adjust an approach against an arm like this? And it's that type of swing right there, the rollover, the pounding the ball into the ground. The only way you can be successful against a Jayla Wright is to see the ball deep, to hit it opposite field, watch it late into the stands, but taking towering swings really just won't be successful off this type of movement.
On the 1-2, and Frozen looking on the inside, and Marbury is retired.
Making a statement early, right? Catches her looking on the off speed, and the fact that she can tunnel the spin and the location. That's a drop ball spin, but it's change-up speed. Being able to pull the string on the same type of late break, so tough to defend that pitch.
And she picked up her 16th win on the season Friday, went 6 innings, gave up 5 hits, 3 runs, only 1 of them earned. Struck out 6 in the process and walked 4. Taylor Inslee was one full 4. On Friday had that RBI single that scored 2 runs. And right back to right, who tries to protect herself. Jada Baker still able to come to the ball. And now 2 down.
Stepping to the plate, the catcher, number 3, Amanda Hassler.
So already starting to see the ball worked on the ground, right? You got to have a defense that's anticipating these type of hot shots with the speed and spin of right. When you've got a drop ball arm in the circle, you know the dirt's going to get worked.
The readiness for this group and what a powerful arm we saw from Jada Baker on that throw from short to first. Well, here's Amanda Hassler. Sophomore waits the pitch. One of the things that Coach Leftwich talked to us about in regards to Amanda Hassler is just, seeing a lot of pitches, especially on the inside part of the plate. She's adjusted well. This one sitting in an opposite field fly ball into right. And that
captures the potential and the talent that this NC State team has, their ability to fight, their ability to compete. And we even walked down on the field and talked to Lindsay Leftwich before this game. It comes down to that confidence factor, right? Who they've played so far in conference play, some of the toughest, if not the toughest team through the ACC so far. First-year head coach stepping into this Wolfpack program, and just it's a lot of newness. It takes time for that to really settle in and solidify.
Well, she believes this group has got the makings, and we talked about the pieces that are already here and existing for this program. And she surrounded herself with a great staff to go along with it. Talked about Paige Cassidy, but also Mike Bosch and Grayson Ratcliffe as well. Two one to Deanna Jennings, now 3 balls and a strike to the sophomore.
Well, Lindsay Leftwich, right, she's got the resume. She's got the history, having spent 12 seasons under head coach Beth Turina at LSU. They've had a heck of a year. Surprising weekend this weekend for them. Arkansas upsetting them, taking 2 of 3. But Paige Cassidy as well, coming in as a pitching coach, assistant head coach here. Had a year at Texas Tech, 9 years at Liberty under Dr. Dot Richardson, one of the best to ever do it.
Full count now here to Deanna Jennings. And hopefully Paige Cassidy is thinking, well, let's dial up that right pitch for Riley Wyman to get out the first batter of the inning. We'll do so over to third base. And 1 down. I think you add to that too. I mean, Lindsay Leftwich was really transparent about, hey, look, there are some things that I do well. There are some things that I need some help with. And having someone like a Mike Bosch, as a for instance, who comes in with some previous head coaching experience helps that. The detail orientation or orientedness of, Paige Cassidy helps to round out what she believes would be a successful staff to get this program moving in the right direction.
You and I have met a lot of head coaches. We've met a lot of coaching staffs. And you and I both agree, sometimes you just get a sense, right? When a staff's got it, when a head coach, specifically a new head coach, has the magic, right? It's got the sauce. Lindsay Leftwich has that. She's got that here. I'm eager to see what this program does in the next 5-6 seasons. She's got the makings to do what a Marissa Young has done at Duke since she stepped in.
Young, who has kind of helped to set the standard here in the state of North Carolina. John Rittman has done a great job at Clemson. Again, you said it yesterday, Aaron. These programs are still so very young. I mean, this was alumni weekend for NC State, and they're celebrating their 20th anniversary of their first season of softball, as that one is lined into right field, and Jada Baker is out.
It's a hot shot from Baker. Thought this may find the green, but the speed of Inslee in right field. Gloves it for out number 2.
Sarah Goddard sees ball 1.
Tell you what's exciting too is to see all the young faces. Just walking into the ballpark today, the amount of youth that's here, watching both of these ball clubs. That tells you all you need to know about where our sport's headed.
And I would even say where it is, right? Because you have seen, you've played in Oklahoma City, you've won national championships, you've watched just how the sport of softball has grown from your experience as a young person to a collegiate athlete, right? And now from
the affinity for this sport.
And Goddard swings and misses. The strikeout first recorded for Riley Wyman.
Yeah, Wyman settling down a 1-2-3 inning for the Wolfpack. They're swinging it next. Enjoyed our time here.
And we've seen so much a buzzing around campus, as well as Madison Insco. First pitch swinging off the arm of Jayla Wright, and she retires the DH.
Hey, lots of cap and gowns.
Yeah, but graduation, spring commencement is next weekend. This weekend, however, everyone's getting moved out. So that's why we're seeing a lot of families and a lot of people kind of moving around, and then everyone's preparing themselves
for the grand exit.
For the grand exit.
Oh, yeah. Look at that, full stadium. Notice the urgency and just the energetic nature of Wright in the circle. How quickly she moves, her tempo in the circle. You can tell she's got a rhythm, right? And I think across the U.S. you can see a lot of different styles of rhythm in the circle. Methodical, slow moving, you know, that momentary pause, but for her it's quick, it's assertive. It's always interesting to see too how the action clock and the I guess the microscope now that's on the timing between the battery has affected some of the routines in the circle.
Back-to-back strikes from Jayla Wright, and comes inside for ball 2. When you were in the batter's box, like how much did that affect you in terms of the pace of the pitcher?
It's 100% a factor that you have to consider, because you've got a routine too as well as a batter. And from the spectrum of that, if I'm feeling like I'm being sped up or rushed in the box as a batter, that can get under my skin. If I feel like I'm having to wait and it's dragging and I just want the pitch to be thrown, that can also get under your skin as a batter. So it can swing both ways, absolutely.
Well, good job by Torres. And now a full count when you watch Wright. And again, every pitcher has their own little nuance in their delivery, but she sticks the glove out.
Yes, yeah.
And then she kind of toggles the ball a little bit, juggles it, and then...
It almost appears as like a signal to the defense of like, okay, hold up, here I go.
Inside for ball 4. So Hannah Goodwin is aboard with 1 out.
Yeah, first walk of the day for Wright, and I think this is the first at-bat really where we've seen her struggle to spot east, west, and north and south. Dirt ball a couple times against Goodwin. Missing inside against Goodwin as well.
Young, who works with the pitchers, being a former All-American pitcher herself. Ellie Goins, the center fielder, now up to bat. Out of Mooresville, North Carolina. Swing and a miss. I like what Lindsay Leftwich said about the youngster, just given the fact, like, this is a player that you want on your team. Just got tremendous work ethic. Practices like she plays like she practices in games. I mean, she just embraces the tough stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's defensively and offensively, I think, for this kid. Just such a stud. You mentioned it, Leftwich just went on and on about the work ethic, and she said, look, don't be shocked, or I am now no longer shocked when I see a Sports Center top 10 type of play happen on the field, because I see it every day in practice. That's just who she is. That's how she works.
Second strikeout looking as Jayla Wright freezes Goins there. Another look here.
This is the response that you want to see from an arm like Jayla Wright. The first walk of the game awarded to Goodwin, and then she comes back with the off-speed to get the K against Goins. Both of those looking now. That's a pitch that hasn't been defended.
On the ground over the third, cross the diamond, and can't be handled. Michelle Tarpey stands at first. And Hannah Goodwin advances to third base on the throw. So runners at the corners now here.
You know, this takes Gold pretty deep behind third base. If she was going to be able to throw this on a hose across the field, I would have been impressed. But this ball has to be digged. You've got to be able to snag that one hop. Davidson, you practice.
Even it up or potentially take the lead here for NC State. Can they capitalize?
Yeah, the inability to dig that ball at first base gives way for an extra 60 feet for Goodwin, now standing on third. And now all it takes is a punch through the infield. I'm still waiting to see how that one rolling.
Ball and 2 strikes now to Kaylee Lambert. On the ground, Baker is there, tags second base, and ends the inning. Couple of left on base for the Wolfpack. It's the series sweep of the Wolfpack, which would be their 5th of the season. Claire Davidson over to the right side, handled just in time by Lambert to get Davidson, and quickly 2 away.
If I'm Duke right now, I'm trying to slow the ball game down. A 1-2-3 inning in the second, now 2 quick outs here in the third.
The previous plays under video review.
Offensive outings just not competitive enough right now, the last 2 innings so far for the Blue Devils.
And that last play is under review. Davidson was called out on the field. That's been challenged by Young, and they're going to take a peek at it here.
Yeah, always reminding you too, with the call on the field, there's got to be enough evidence to overturn the call.
We saw a couple of challenges yesterday from Coach Young, unsuccessful in each of them. here it looks like, what did you say the difference between a bang and a bang bang?
It's a bang play. Happened at the same time. I think this could go either way, just based on the short replay we saw there, Tiff.
And the call is upheld on the field as conferred by Brian Sonak. So the video review shows that Claire Davidson is out, and now quickly 2 down. Gold coming into today's game. 2 of 6 on the weekend. And now the Blue Devils, their baseman in their second AB again. A very quick inning, all on the Beecham is among them that stand out. Both Beecham and Isa Torres, who have had spectacular seasons thus far for Lonnie Alameda. And the leading Florida State Seminoles, currently atop the ACC standings. Right behind them is Duke. Nine-hole hitter and Tori Inslee with an 0-2 count. Tori Inslee out of Franklin, North Carolina. One of 2 Inslees on this roster. Older sister Taylor, the junior on the squad, playing in right field as another one looking. How many Ks looking this afternoon?
That's 3. All 3 Ks have been by way of eyeballs. Not even pulling the bat off the shoulder. And these pitches are competitive. They're through the strike zone. 2 of them change-ups. This one kind of a cutter that moves in, down and in to Inslee on the right side.
She struck out Michaela Marbury in the bottom half of the first inning as Marbury is back up to bat. Jayla Wright, 147 strikeouts on the season, just 39 walks, and even more impressive, only giving up 18 earned runs this season. She says one of the elite arms in the country, and that's helped to propel this Duke team to a number of wins this season. The 1-1. Right, who was a second team All-ACC selection a season ago. Coach Young talked about just knowing that this pitcher had so much in the tank, knew exactly what she was capable of, and she has put that on full display this season.
Well, she went on and on. We just said her name on the call, and she said phenomenal, just phenomenal. One of the most talented athletes I've had the privilege of coaching. Such a competitor, has had to manage so much personal pressure, and just continues to perform. Had a tough year this year in losing both of her grandparents. Just had struggled to move through that emotionally, as anyone would. But is playing for them this year and has had an unbelievable season so far.
The payoff. Struck well by Marbury, but right into the glove of Sarah Goddard. And 1 away, 2 away.
Stepping to the plate, right field, number 44, Taylor Hensley.
We talked about how much Marissa Young loves her pitcher in the circle, a senior in this program. We'll get an opportunity to ask Coach a little bit more about her performance thus far. when we come back from break, so we'll get to hear directly from our coach as this one toweling fly ball in foul territory. And Kelly Torres has about Jayla Wright and how you went on and on about just how special she is of a player. What have you seen out of her, and what makes her so special?
She just loves the game, loves to compete for her team, and I think she's gotten a lot better this year at learning how teams try to adjust to her from Friday to Sunday and finding a way to be different to have success.
Coach, you know, all weekend I think it'd be easy to talk about the home run pop and just the production of your offense, but what's impressed me is your ability to watch. The fact that you guys really zone in the strike zone, you take your bases when they're awarded. How do you prepare a team to be so definitive in the box?
We do a lot of live in practice, a lot of situational work where Coach Taylor's really focusing in on our zone discipline, and I think it translates to game day.
Thanks, Coach. We appreciate it.
Take the time.
We talk so much about the NC State staff, but you think about this Duke Blue Devil staff. Olivia Watkins returns, but she mentioned Taylor Wyke, who played for her when she was an assistant under Donna Papa at the University of North Carolina. Brian Young also new to the program as well, and Taylor had some great intel and got a chance to actually watch this Duke team when they met up in regionals last year. She was with the Charlotte 49ers staff and brought those great insights over to the team on how to make them better. Foul ball as Burgess will come back to the plate.
Yeah, we've seen this short game from Burgess all season long, the ability to turn around the barrel and drop a bunt down to keep the defense honest. That's what makes her special in that four-hole, the fact that she can drop the bunt but swing away.
And hit by pitch. I do want to ask this question because when you do have the ability of the short game, but then we saw her swing away and hit that three-run homer yesterday, like how hard is that to make that adjustment from going from, you know, more of a slapper style to swinging away?
Well, it does take that practice, right? And it's the discipline and the reps. You heard Coach Marissa Young talk about zone discipline, the ability to see the ball in the zone, live reps, live opportunities to just practice the hand-eye coordination of when to pull the trigger and when not to. And that comes down to the short game as well.
This one getting past Hassler, and so now Burgess moves into scoring position for Giselle Tapia. And therefore strike Tapia, who has the lone RBI of the ball game. Back at the first inning. Again, still both teams searching for a hit. Tapia is showing bunt, trying to advance the runner. No outs here. And now a 2-1 count.
We've went on and on too about the left-handed production for Duke. Davidson, Burgess, Freelick, Tapia as well. I mean, this has just been a weekend for the lefty bats.
And Duke has swung the bat well this weekend. Had 8 hits Friday night. 6 more yesterday. Pitch and the walk awarded to Giselle Tapia. So now 3 walks in the ball game. A couple of hit by pitches as well. And those free passes can oftentimes come back and bite you. Wyman wants to make sure that she can keep Duke at bay here as a pinch runner coming in. Leah Terrell in at first base.
You know, we've yet to see Duke have just a hitting frenzy. I even think back to just their first 2 wins this weekend. It's off of like a lone homer, right? It's the lone long ball. They kind of sprinkle it throughout the whole game, but we've yet to see Duke really rev an engine for an entire inning. And if you're scanning the opportunities so far, now we're into the 4th inning. You've got 2 on by way of free passes, no outs. This would be the moment for Duke. And we haven't seen that really all weekend long from the Blue Devils.
That's a good point. And does that fatigue come into factor here in that instance? And that's no knock against the pitching here from NC State.
Yeah, and I think that sentiment swings both ways, right? We've seen Hassler go yard twice for NC State, and outside of that, it's been silent. So all weekend, it's been living and dying on the long ball, but the fundamental portion of offensive production has been fairly silent this weekend.
This one behind home plate and just off the roof of where we are. Hassler, who has certainly helped to keep her team in the ball game these last couple days. This one fly to right field. And 1 down. But to further your point, I mean, this is a Duke team that's
Line. Get me there. Home stretch. And it is. It's so true. You feel like the noise starts to go away and you can just focus on softball. You know, for the whole season, you've had to balance both. And these athletes, these young women do it so well. They are students first. I think we often forget that.
Deanna Jennings saying, okay, this is our time to break through. Little bobble in the outfield, had an opportunity to come around. Burgess instead stays put at third base. Marissa Young going and giving her a high five after that. And another look at it as just past the shortstop, Marbury.
Man, I understand the call here, right? But for Burgess, who has speed, she's got 6 stolen bases on the season. Go ahead and let the wheels rock, right? Force NC State to make a play.
First base hit of the weekend sets up that right there. And 2-0 Duke. So Jada Baker does her job.
Yeah, you tip your cap here, lays down the bunt, uses the short game. Beautifully done. Sacrifice bunt for the RBI. You know, maybe I'm aggressive. Maybe that's just the way I played the game. But I, again, in that moment, would have loved to have seen NC State have to make a play.
Well, you saw Marissa.
Yeah, yes, go.
Sarah Goddard struck out back in the second. And he's at second and third, swings through that one.
Man, if Wyman can get out of this with only 1 run of damage here, huge. For the production that Duke has had all season, you do have to give props to Wyman, what she's been able to do through 3 2/3. 56 pitches thrown now. I think the biggest blemish is just the free passes, but there hasn't been a lot of big swings.
And there The way your team has competed all season, never giving up, always showing fight. Talk about the fight that you've seen from Riley Wyman and the fight that she's shown, especially in that last half inning.
I think Riley's doing a great job of just keeping them off balance. The more you force them to like get behind things, and she's moving things around the zone enough, she's honestly throwing enough balls that they have to, they have to pick a strike and figure out how to like really put a good barrel on something. And she's done a good job of like forcing them into some bad at bats so far.
How does your offense face a drop ball of Jayla Wright and be successful?
Yeah, what makes her drop so good is that her off-speed drop is so good. Like she's tunneling that together at 70 and then 63 or 62. You get that 8 mile an hour of vertical spread there. That's hard. And so we've got to force regular drop into the zone and then leave change up until she establishes a first strike.
Appreciate the insight, Coach. Good luck.
Thanks, guys. Go Pack.
So true. It is. It's the tunneling that makes that drop ball so effective. The fact that you not only have to protect this 7-inch drop, but the fact that she can throw it at 2 speeds. Yeah. The double whammy. Well, you know who's been successful off that drop ball? It's Amanda Hassler.
You see, she hit a home run thanks to our 643 chart friends yesterday, or rather this weekend, and so Hassler now standing and seeing if she can have better success the second time around. Flew out her first time up, and that's the first base hit for the Wolfpack.
It's been Hassler all weekend long for NC State. The 2 bombs, now 1 for 2 day here on Sunday. This isn't solidly struck. It's right off the end of the bat, but you take what you get. That one's golf. That's like mid-shin high for Hassler, and she finds the green.
But that's what she's done consistently throughout the season, leading the team in batting average and just finding ways. So now she puts herself and her team in a great position. Leadoff batter aboard. Madison Insco coming up, and can the Wolfpack answer here in the bottom half of the inning? Well hit and lined out to second base and one away.
Stepping to the plate for the Wolfpack, third baseman, number 77, Hannah Goodwin.
Hannah Goodwin back up to bat. A junior out of West Columbia, South Carolina. Beat by Torres, and so now Hassler is in scoring position. So now with the pass ball, and Hannah Goodwin, who has really caught fire the last 10 games or so. She's been hitting the ball so much better. Worked on the timing. They're off pace there with the pitch from right.
We've talked a lot about the success and the effectiveness of Jayla Wright, but you can't not talk about the senior behind the plate who's receiving this on. Kelly Torres. Her ability to frame, her ability to be a brick wall. She's a spark, she's a vocal leader, she's in charge defensively, gets it done. Offensively, just an all-around stud for the Blue Devils. I mean, look at that. It's instinctual for her. The way that she's able to block behind the plate, and when you're facing or receiving an arm like Jayla, you have to be able to dig in the dirt. A drop ball is bound to find the ground.
Two pitch swung on and foul. I think too, when you think about success and of this pitching staff specifically, you've got Jayla Wright and Kelly Torres, who have worked together for 4 years. You've got the confidence all the more in the sophomore Cassidy Curd, who was going to lead this program and take it to its new heights, as she will be the ace next year because of that confidence. Well fielded by Wright, and the bounce throw over to first base, and Davidson's got her back.
Well, and on the flip side there, guess who's standing on third base for the Wolfpack? Their catcher, Amanda Hassler, who's been the hero for them all weekend long. This is right back to Jayla Wright and spiked into the ground. It happens. It happens. It's a good bounce dig there from Davidson.
Chance here for Ellie Goins. Goins, who was caught looking her first time up. At the 8th of the season. Only allowed one hit, and it was that home run ball to Amanda Hassler. Good cut there by Goins, now 2-1. The pitch on the way. Fielded by Jada Baker. Strong throw once again. Leaning to her left side, gets it out there in time, and a runner left on protect. I mean, mix as well. When you think about the dominance that Florida State has had over the years, and they're the reigning ACC champions, teams like Duke, who won it back in 2021, Virginia Tech, Clemson, all challenging. Do you feel like there's going to be a shift in the dominance within the conference as these programs continue to grow?
Oh, yeah. Not only that, but I think on a national scale, we're already starting to see the winning reputation start to build for the ACC, and the expectation that this is a really strong conference, right? That competes, that gets after it. You and I actually had talked about Florida State and the fact that they've kind of been leading that charge just in the past, I don't know, 8 years really, that they've emerged and had a lot of dominance. And even when they've hit a couple bumps in the road early this year, a couple tough losses, unexpected losses, they're a postseason team. They're a different team when they hit the postseason road. What Clemson has done in the postseason, the fact that what Cagle has done for that program, the impact she's had both offensively and in the circle. Lindley over at Virginia Tech, what she's done in the circle for them.
Well struck by Torres and foul, but you say all those names. To me, I don't know what it's like to be in a position where, you know, you're trying to climb or build like what Marissa Young has done in such a short amount of time. But how much more does that add to just the profile and flavor of your program? And as Kelly Torres caught looking, big strikeout there to lead it off here in the top of the 5th for Riley Wyman.
How about Wyman settling in here? This is her 3rd strikeout of the game. You know, where she struggled with the strike zone early, a couple hit by pitches, giving up some free bags via the walk, but you know, just in the last 2 innings, starting to heat up. The last 2 batters she faced have been K's, and that's really the pitch. Her ability to nibble on the corners, her ability to establish the river. I would agree with Leftwich, just our chance to chat with her on Heads last inning, and she was proud of the outing so far, and I agree. I think she's done a good job of silencing a tough offense.
Well, too, just as much as the Duke batters are getting intel, she too got intel from her first appearance against them, and coming back with a slightly different approach against these bats. And she's found places where she can be effective again. Getting out of that last inning, she saw the Blue Devils threatening. They added an insurance run, but then that big strikeout by Sarah Goddard caught looking was so important to keep them in the ballgame.
Well, this is a bat you don't want to miss against. 2 home runs so far on the weekend. 17 on the year. Sits her down.
So Claire Davidson is retired and 2 away.
New batter, third baseman, number 4, Anna Gold.
So far, Duke already having 2 1-2-3 innings. Both of their run production happening in the first and the fourth, where they had 6 batters step into the box.
Over to Lambrick at second base, and another
That's
lift.
a
Safe space, right?
You and I had a great discussion about 2000s tunes last night. Some iconic hits coming out of the early 2000s.
Bring back the groups of the 2000s as well as leadoff base hit for Michelle Tarpey for the Wolfpack.
Second base hit for NC State, and this goes back to the importance of what Wyman's done in the circle for NC State. The fact that she's held Duke to 2 runs allows her offense and buys her time offense to figure things out. They've already faced Jayla Wright for 6 innings in game 1. They've seen this arm. They just need the time to make those adjustments, and the work that Wyman has done in the circle for the Wolfpack gives them that.
New batter, second baseman, number 15, Kaylee Lambrick.
They had the leadoff single last inning and couldn't take advantage. Can they do it here? Kaylee Lambrick, who has been solid at second base. And putting a little extra speed there with Elena Smith now as the pinch runner.
Are you hearing the cheers come from the stands?
Yes. Who's that in your family?
I love the organization from the fans here.
Or like in your dugout, who was the loudest voice?
Well, I think it changed year to year. Dare I say me? I was pretty loud.
Grounded over to second base, and Lambrick is retired. You get loud, huh?
I was pretty loud. Shay Knight was up there too. We like to get some rallies started.
The pitch to Tori Inslee. Fouled off. When you're up to bat though, like did you hear a lot of that?
You know, it's like I could hear volume levels, but as far as making out what was being said, no. You start to tune it out up there, right? It's like tunnel vision. At least when you're feeling good and you're in the zone, it is tunnel vision for sure.
And when you stood in the outfield, was that a different story though? Because
I was a little more animated, yeah. A little more animated in the outfield. I can tell you at the Women's College World Series, though, when you're surrounded by, I don't know how many thousands of people, that uproar gets super loud. Yeah, you got to learn how to really zone in the focus. "57 pitches for Jayla Wright through 5 1/3. It's pretty efficient work.
You talked about the play of Kelly Torres. Another great example there, keeping it in front. And Inslee has that one drop into shallow center, and the decision to try to run, a dangerous decision. Fortunate that it paid off for Elena Smith as the ball was bobbled by the third baseman on a goal quartered in the inning. And back to the top of the order with Michaela Marbury. And that hits her, so now bases loaded after the hit by pitch. And Marissa Young coming out to dispute that. Another look here.
You know, this is a tough vantage point as a lefty, right? The fact that this is a curveball that cuts across the plate, and frankly, Tiffany, it cuts through the strike zone. But
trying to cut into this lead. Taylor Inslee at the plate. Inslee with a team high 40 RBI this season, so that's exactly the person you want up. And the second best in terms of RBI on the team, Amanda Hassler, is standing on deck. Great pitch there by Walker.
You know what? This is an arm in Walker that has earned every opportunity that she's gotten, and it's by way of this filthy, nasty changeup. It's untouchable. If you don't have a timing window on that, you won't touch it.
Here's the pitch. Just got a piece of that to stay alive.
I find it interesting too, Tiffany, and going back in our conversations, talking about the pitching staff for Duke. The thing that stuck out about Lily Walker, who's now in the circle, is the sheer fact that she wants the ball in large moments, in moments of pressure, and that the moment is never too big for her. I'd say this is a pretty big moment in this ball game.
Times it up off the shoe. And heads up as getting the runner at first base, but one plate's across. And NC State is on the board.
Leftwich, right? So I have a feeling this review too, going to the headset to get this call right. This is not a challenge for either one of these coaches.
So Brian Sonak is explaining to the coaches that the call is upheld. It's
1 out.
Just
one out recorded on that play, yes. So it does hit the dirt. That's a good vantage point right there. You can see the contact made with the foot and the dirt. And a really good heads-up play by Baker at shortstop to collect that out at first base. And still life to fight here for NC State. Still a huge moment for the Wolfpack here.
And who's been red hot all weekend for this group? Amanda Hassler.
Amanda Hassler.
And understanding just how effective she's been. Here's a great way to illustrate it. And not taking any chances in the process. They're going to intentionally walk her. So Amanda Hassler will not have the opportunity to swing away and try to drive in runs instead. Load the bases, and Madison Insco will be tasked with this chance and opportunity. Insco with 16 RBI on the season, and Lindsay Leftwich going over, just trying to pump her up, give her the confidence that she needs to drive in some more, potentially tie or take the lead here.
In a moment like this, for Madison Insco, it's not a huge swing. It doesn't require a huge swing. You don't have to make this moment larger than it is. It takes a base hit. It takes something through the dirt.
And that's the base hit, and through the right side, 2 runs are going to score. Insco going to second base, and she's thrown out, and that's going to end the inning, but not before
Out at the plate. Made some adjustments against the drop ball of Jayla Wright, and then Lily Walker coming in from the left side, and they just have applied a pressure consistently and finally bust through in the 5th inning.
Wyman, who has only allowed 1 hit today. And right now, she is now pitching from ahead to start off this 6th inning. Amaya Burgess leading it off. The lefty bats in the lineup, and Burgess .357 on the season. Walked, hit by a pitch, and then scored a run back on that sac bunt from Jada Baker back in the 4th. At the end of the batting, Marbury handles it, recovers, but not in time. So now Amaya Burgess is at first base, the leadoff aboard with the base hit.
It's the tiny, tiny bobble from Marbury at shortstop that doesn't allow her to collect that out. And when you've got an athlete like Burgess, 6 stolen bases on the year, such a close play at first, but it was that momentary hiccup fielding that ball that doesn't allow her to get the out.
That play is under review just to see if Burgess is indeed safe at first base. Good recovery there from Marbury. So the sophomore is awaiting the call, as we are as well. Another look here. When does the ball come in?
Man. I don't know that it gets closer than that.
Nope. I mean, it's at the same time. I mean, so it's hard. Do you see enough evidence there to overturn the call?
I don't know that I do. Also a reminder, this is a new first baseman. Smith steps in to first base to receive that ball. And already a close play over there. But you're right, it's call on the field is safe. Got to have enough evidence in the replay footage to overturn that call. I don't know that there's enough there to do it.
Inconclusive on the review, and so the call on field is confirmed. And Burgess at first, and that brings up Giselle Tapia.
That is ruled a base hit.
Tapia, who had that RBI ground out back in the first to get the Blue Devils on the board. Looking to move the runner over and lays down the bunt well, and mishandled by Lambrick. And now runners at the corners after that slight hesitation in the field. And the error goes against, or is likely to go against Lambrick. Amaya Burgess standing at third with Tapia at first. Another look here.
Yeah, this is absolutely an out that has to be made. That's a strike thrown by Smith to Lambrick, who's covering it first and unable to glove the ball. 2 outs on the board right now.
And Tapia caught in that rundown, but gets back safely.
It's perfectly executed. The fact that Lambrick runs her back and keeps the eye, keeps the focus on Burgess at third base. This is how you keep people honest on the base paths. And that is a complete plan right by Duke, baiting that throw to second base, and the Wolfpack doing a good job of silencing any chaos.
Friedlich hard hit over to Marbury, looks to run it back at third base. And the first out recorded here on the top of the 6th.
You could see the determination there from Marbury. She was going to sit on that ball if she had to. That was not going to get past her. This is a tough hit up the middle of the field. She looks back Burgess at third to collect the out at first. Solid choice by there, right there by the shortstop.
Field coming in, you see the corners squeezing a little bit on Deanna Jennings. Jennings this afternoon, 1 for 2. Picked up her first hit of the weekend back in the 4th. Swinging away into center field, giving chases. Ellie Goins over her head to the wall. 2 runs come in to score, and just like that, Duke grabs the lead right back. A 2-run double for Deanna Jennings. Her 16th RBI of the season.
It's just a solid piece of hitting. Burns, Goins in center field. And they had to, right? The infield had to play a little bit shallow to be able to have a play at home plate. If something was on the ground, they had to give themselves a shot. And Jennings burns the outfield dead center field. But Tiffany, you gotta go back to the first 2 batters of this inning. The bobble from Marbury that is ruled a base hit, but that's an out that should be made. And then the miscue at first with Lambrick covering over from second. They should be out of this inning.
Instead, they've allowed the door to be open, and Duke has walked through and has a 4-3 lead here. Jada Baker at the plate, the shortstop. Now trying to tack on some more insurance here. Two now to Baker. Wyman readies. And gets the strikeout. Bradley Wyman, even though the scoreboard is not in her favor right now, really has done a tremendous job in the circle today.
The 4th K. Truly, I mean, where she struggled early in the ball game of spotting the strike zone, she has really made the adjustments through the back half of this ball game. She's bought her offense time, and it's been the defense so far through this inning that wasn't able just to close the door.
And pinch hitter Kelsey Zampa. Zampa sees that one high. Ball 2. Correction, ball 1. Correction here, Zampa, the defensive substitution earlier for Sarah Goddard. Zampa's first at bat of the ball game, fouls it off, stays alive. And now the third arm we've seen in this one. Jayla Wright started it off. Lily Walker. Ball outside from Kerr to Hannah Goodwin. Goins, and Smith are due up this inning. This is the job that Kerr did in the win yesterday. 5 innings in the circle. Only gave up a hit.
Obviously similar to Lily Walker in that it's coming from that left side. The difference is she has the ability to work a little bit more north and south than Lily Walker, who's predominantly curve and low in the zone. A hard late break can get up to 70 miles an hour.
Well struck base hit up the middle into center field, and Goodwin is aboard with the leadoff base hit. And Kerr, who has the pinch runner at first base. Sophomore from right here in Raleigh. Going 0 for 2 and done a great job right there, laying down the sac bunt to advance the runner. 1 down.
How about Gold cutting across the field, the off-foot throw across the body? I mean, look at this. In the air, like a Jordan jump, and still is able to throw a strike to first to collect the out. Just an unbelievable play. Nice bunt by Goins.
Tarpey swings away at that one, 0-1. Singled her last time up. redshirt sophomore, North Carolina native as well. Ball high. 1 and 2.
You can't overstress the importance of that sacrifice bunt. The deeper you get into season, it does come down to ball games like this, the ability to move a tying run another 60 feet. That gives way to opportunities like Michelle Tarpey, who steps in. And it would take something deep into the outfield here, a base hit through the infield into the gap to potentially collect a game-tying RBI.
And Tarpey sends this one into the outfield, running in to get it as the right fielder. So Zampa makes sure the runner stays put, and 2 down. Still an opportunity here for Kaylee Lambert. If you're NC State, you don't want to have that tying run stranded. Can Lambert come up with the base hit past the back and continue this inning?
4 left on base so far for the Wolfpack.
Well struck, and Zampa is right there, had a beat on it, and that ends the inning. Runner left at here at the Dale Stadium. And that one hitting Kelly Torres. That's her second hit by pitch of the game.
Well, and the importance of the insurance run here for Duke, because NC State has been knocking on the door. And a good way to set yourself up to collect an insurance run is working at leadoff on. That's the second hit by pitch for Kelly Torres.
One of the most important bats in this Duke lineup has been kept quiet by Riley Wyman. Davidson 0 for 3 this afternoon. RBI producer, not only in the conference, but one of the best in the nation. 61 coming into today's game. But a couple of fly balls and a ground out this afternoon. Stand in the 1-2 pitch. And taking off is the catcher Kelly Torres, and she is out. Gunned down by Amanda Hassler behind the plate.
We've been singing the praises, and rightfully so, of both of these catchers, offensively, defensively, and Hassler has just put on a display all weekend long. 2 home runs on the weekend, a base hit today, and now throwing out a very speedy Kelly Torres. She's only been caught twice all season long, made that 3 times.
Hard hit ball, and it's going to be fair for Claire Davidson, and so all the way to the wall. She's going to stop at second base. And you think about that, if Torres stayed at first, would have had the potential to maybe score on that double. And Marissa Young comes and collects. Another look here.
Yeah, this almost hits off the bag. As a lefty, you want to hit it to the deepest part of the right field line. You are going to be able to run for a long while. That relay in from Inslee in right field, this is where you'd want to hear your defense, your infield telling you where to throw. Could have had an out there, I think, throwing behind her at second base. That just takes communication.
Now on a Gold. For strike. You think about Claire Davidson, who's only had extra base hits all weekend long. And now Anna Gold looking to produce here in the 3-hole. And high, 1 and 2. Aaron, this feels like a close game, much like we saw on Friday between these two. Interestingly enough, staying score, and that's Wyman who gets the strikeout and wisely moving an extra 60 feet. Claire Davidson on the throw to first, so now she is 60 feet from home. Another look here.
This is uncharacteristic for Gold, right? This isn't even close in the strike zone, chasing in the dirt, but again, just tipping the cap to Wyman. The ability to continue to chip away, to attack this offense. That's the 5th strikeout of the day for her. She's gotten better as this game has unfolded.
And wanting to have that conversation with... So after the conference in the circle, here we go. As Amaya Burgess digs in. Burgess, who singled her last time up, and there Marbury makes a great play, but the RBI single for Amaya Burgess, and that's the extra insurance Duke was looking for.
Yeah, this has got to be a deep exhale for the Blue Devils, especially after Torres getting thrown out. That would have been an RBI if able to steal that bag successfully, and Burgess coming up with a base hit up the middle to score Claire Davidson.
Marissa Young just continues to funnel through great talent in this program. Had that strong freshman class a season ago. Amaya Burgess in her first year as a true freshman with this program, helping to carry it on.
The value of these reps, too, of having to play from behind, having to find a way to produce late in games to get a win. I mean, these are big moments for both of these teams. A rep for NC State to have to push in late innings. Wyman pitching with her back against the wall. We've seen that fight from the Wolfpack all weekend long, and then Duke having to scratch and claw to continue to put insurance runs on the board.
Backhanded in the circle by Wyman, ends the back in the circle, and here we go. Tori Inslee, who has a single on the game. Out off a couple of pitches. Now behind the count 0-2. Cassidy Kerr, when you look at her in the circle, that big wind-up that she has in terms of her preparation of delivery. Very different in terms of the pace, too, that we talked about with Jayla Wright.
And that slow rock back. Saw a little bit of that in Lily Walker as well.
How do you feel about the rally cones?
Whatever makes the rally start, you gotta go with, yeah?
Yeah? The pitch. Inslee into center field, going backwards, and the back track from Jennings, and sees it well into her glove. One down.
New batter, the shortstop, number 20, Michaela Marbury.
Cassidy Kerr, who has just continued to evolve in the circle. Get better and better. What's the value of having two lefties on your staff when you...
The diversity in approaches in the circle, I think, for Duke is exceptional in their pitching staff. The fact that you've got drop ball arms, you've got east and west arms with your lefties, a lot of arms that can hum it up to 70 miles an hour for Duke, which is big time.
And Marbury gets the nose on the button, but into the glove of Burgess.
Yeah, two laced balls back to back. You know, you got to give props to NC State because the later this game goes on, I'm looking even at my scorebook and just what they've done since the 5th inning, the pressure that they've applied to Duke, it's there. This is a team that has a lot of talent, very well coached. They've got the pieces. They really, really do. You and I have talked about it extensively this weekend, but it's the truth. I mean, the talent's there, the coaching staff is there. It's just all brand new, and they're starting to kind of figure out how to get their legs under them. There's Coach Leftwich, first-year head coach here, and she's going to do big things. I know it.
And I love how she talked about just challenging her team and putting them in, you know, different types of situations to help them with big challenges, but also feel confident that they can have those small wins in the process. The 1-1 to Taylor Inslee. On the ground. And that's going to end it. So Duke completes So after the conference in the circle, here we go. As Amaya Burgess digs in. Burgess, who singled her last time up, and then Marbury makes a great play, but the RBI single for Amaya Burgess, and that's the extra insurance Duke was looking for.
Yeah, this has got to be a deep exhale for the Blue Devils, especially after Torres getting thrown out. That would have been an RBI if able to steal that bag successfully. And Burgess coming up with a base hit up the middle to score Claire Davidson.
Marissa Young just continues to funnel through great talent in this program. Had that strong freshman class a season ago. Amaya Burgess in her first year as a true freshman with this program, helping to carry it on.
The value of these reps, too, of having to play from behind, having to find a way to produce late in games to get a win. I mean, these are big moments for both of these teams. A rep for NC State to have to push in late innings. Wyman pitching with her back against the wall. We've seen that fight from the Wolfpack all weekend long, and then Duke having to scratch and claw to continue to put insurance runs on the board.
Backhanded in the circle by Wyman ends the